Welcome to Pay to Play Impressions for FIFA 18. This is a game that's available on PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. It's a sports game, well, it's a football game that has an RPG-like elements in it, and it also has a team management aspects to it as well. Now, keep in mind that the multiplayer in this game will be going away on May 6th, 2021. So therefore, if you consider to get this game or to play this game, consider the fact that you won't be able to play anything in multiplayer at all. So you have to make up your decision based on single player only. So let's see what this game is about. Well, there's a few things you have in this game. One, you have this section which is called the journey. So this is a story element section where you're playing for the kid who's well, he's an English kid who gets drafted into one of the elite clubs or gets a contract with an elite club, and you kind of go through his story there. There's elements there that such as interactions that you have with other people on the team, as well as family member interactions in it as well. So now the interactions will determine your personality type and how you behave while playing the game, or basically overall outside the game. So all that affects that aspect. So that's where I guess a certain part of our RPG section comes in. The other one is that you also control the stats and characteristics and what you work on and how well you develop your player. Now that's not the only single player mode you have. You can also have a single player mode where you are controlling a certain player. Now, I'm actually in the wrong section here. Let's quit out of here, and I'll go into the right section here, which is let's load up the player that I just quickly created right now, so specifically just to show what you have. So here there's so you can create a custom player if you want to when you create a player career, which is separate from the story mode. And here you create your custom player. You have a lot of controls about how the player will look. If it's up to you, you can go ahead and pick and choose wherever you want to customize the character, or you can also pick an existing player from a certain team and play as that player. So there you go. I picked a specific player, and I can pretty much play the games as him, or I don't have to completely play as him. That's a choice given to me. I can also play as a whole team, controlling the whole team besides just controlling my player. Now there's an advantage to that, is because it will allow you to kind of use the rest of the team to set up things for your player to your advantage. Now you can also you can do drills, which allow, if you pick depending what kind of drills you pick, will allow you also to improve your skills and so on. So like I said, there's RPG elements to this in this game. So besides the whole players side of it, there's also the team management aspect of it. So I'm going to load that one in, and we're going to see that. And that mode is very extensive, actually. I really like what I saw here. So here we are. It looks similar to the player one, right? Except that now you have a squad management. You control a lot of things on the squad. You can control that thing that's transferring players, and you got this whole finances sections, what the board expects from you messages that you receive from the board, from other people, and from your people on your team who may be asking for more playtime and so on. There's a lot there, and just the actual season stuff and so on that you can go ahead and look through. In the squad section, like right there, let's say we go to the squad section. You can see the stats of your squad, who's on your squad, how much they're being paid, when their contracts, and all that information is available. Interesting enough, you can also go ahead and kind of say, okay, I want to negotiate a contract with this guy, right? And it totally will allow you. It will actually go into visual mode where you will be kind of negotiating with the player and his agent over the contract, and you can see the reactions visually to your offers and counter offers and so on. So it kind of helps you determine if you're doing the right way of what it is. Really like that. Then there's also a whole team management section here where you can control, when the player will be, where the player will be. You can on the squad, right? Are they going to be somewhere in the reserves or not, and stuff like that. You have ability to control formations, how your team will be, stand on the actual field, how they're gonna be playing, depending which, what role are they playing, what kind of instructions each one of these players will have, how each one of them will play, how they all will play as a team. There's a lot of here stuff you can do. You can do substitutions in the game. You can also pre-plan the substitutions, who you're gonna substitute for whom in this section as well, here in the management section, before you go into the game. All that is really nice and extensive. And besides that, you also can hire scouts and give them instructions. There's a lot of things here. Like I said, really, really nice in terms of what I see here in terms of team management section. So let me show you how the game itself plays, and now right now we'll advance and run the simulation until the date that we want, which would be the day, or we got some kind of email from somebody. Doesn't matter. I'm not gonna be looking at that, so we're gonna go ahead, advance again, and here we are. We can play the match or we can simulate the match. And this is I would say the part I did not like about this whole section. I can negotiate the contract visually by sitting there and watching stuff going on, right? I can also kind of delegate that to the computer, and the AI will handle it. But I can negotiate the contract. But you won't let me watch my team play. What I mean by that is that I have an option to play the match, where I will control all the players, and I have an option to simulate it. Now, if I simulate it, the game will pretty much shoot out statistics at me, and that's it. So, the game turns into something from something visually interesting to it spreadsheet the game, basically, right? Not exactly something completely interesting. Or, like I said, I have to play the game. So now, to show you how the game actually plays and how it runs and all the stuff, let's go into play the match section. Now, I get to pick for which team I will play. Actually, I'm supposed to pick the team that I picked already. So there's a lot of teams for you to pick when you're gonna be becoming manager, or when you're picking your own team. Okay, so let's play the match here, and this is the section that in the beginning the game will actually let you kind of warm up by saying, okay, well, we're gonna have certain things happen here, like they can practice certain things, kind of like a training type of thing, right? So it's pretty good, but you don't have to do it. You can just go ahead and skip to the game itself, and here we are. If the game starts, you can hear the commentators, you can hear the people in the stadium. It's very well sounds like a real match is going on, and that's what I would love to see for the simulation mode. I'm just not controlling players, but I get to see the rest of the game. That would be very much interesting. Now, before I do anything else, let's talk about other things here. So here in the let me go in here, and here they are settings. Sorry. So I can go into the settings here, and I can look up some of the moves, and I'll show you some of the stuff here. So we got quite a lot of different moves you can do if you just know how to do the right thing with your controller. And by the way, you can play this game with a mouse and keyboard on PC. Totally possible. But your ability to do all these fancy moves, I think, would be very difficult, because looking at the manual has, I think, like a page and a half for a keyboard and mouse interface, and I don't know how many pages for controller interface. So the controller is a way to go here. So if you want to play this game, get a controller. The game supports the Xbox controllers, like this Xbox 360, Xbox One controller, Xbox Series controller will also work with this. It also supports, I believe, the Logitech controllers, because it has that option as well. In its settings that you get before you start the game, there's ability to control that. Similarly, that's where the settings you control for the graphics and quality of the graphics. So let's go here, and the camera, the way you can see here, the camera's position, actually you can change that in the settings as well. I just chose this one because I found this one to be the most kind of a
This is the Arsenal lineup.
easiest to oh, and we lost the ball. So it's easiest for me to kind of control, understand what's going on when it comes to my players.
A check on the Atletico Nacional lineup for you. The kind of players that we expect, the kind of
and I missed. Okay, so there you go. So that's pretty much how the game is. You can see the game actually for some reason it's running at 30 now. Oh well, oh, sorry, it runs at 30 during this kind of cinematic moments, and during the actual game it runs on 60. But that's because I locked it to 60. You can actually push it forward. Again, my hardware is and what I'm using to run this game will be in the description. So you can see it. Why is it still on 30? Basically, you can push it to 60 as far as I've seen it down before at 60. I'm not sure why it's going on. Maybe something happened in the settings.
They should be able to play on a wider front now, Alan, shouldn't they, with the signing of this winger?
So let's switch up between the players. I'm not really that good at playing the game, so that's why I was more interested in the simulations part of it. Because I thought that that's going to be better, but sadly I can't. I don't want to play. Oh, that was a bad move. And so I don't want to just, like I said, I just don't want to play the game, the spreadsheet, right? I want to play the actual game.
All the pointers to victory today go to Arsenal.
If you were going to choose a career not as a manager but as a single player, you have a ability. Well, you will see something else on the top right of your screen.
Yes,
we scored. You're gonna see a kind of a evaluation of your player. If your player is doing the right thing, you're gonna get higher points, and if your player is doing the wrong things, it's gonna tell you that you're getting the lower points and so on. All that's available. So your evaluation, I believe, is out of 10. You start with 6 and it goes up or down depending on performance. So in that way you can actually kind of learn what the right thing to do when you're playing the game, or if you overall in the game, what's the right thing to do when you play, whether on a computer or in reality. Although of course how useful that is to people who actually play football themselves would be, well, I'm not sure. All right. So let's continue on here.
Ahead in this game.
Hopefully we can.
Good work, really.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's around at 30. I thought I unlocked it. I locked it to 60 and pushed it to 60. Usually what I saw that even when you push it to 60, the cinematic sections of the game will run at 30. Maybe there's something off with like I said, maybe something off with the settings. The game did not remember my prior settings or something like that.
Well, they're in a good position here.
Come on, don't lose the ball. Right. So, what else there is to do besides me trying to pass the ball around, and we're gonna
but not too much to
let's go ahead and I'll show you what else there is in the game. We're gonna forfeit the match, which I'm gonna actually create a certain reaction from. Well, I know from the board that of the team that you are managing. You're not gonna be very happy about this. Okay, so we're gonna close this. We don't care about that, and we're not gonna save because this is not the career I'm running anyway. So this is just to showcase. So what else there is to do? Well, you can play one team against another one, whether it's different clubs or national teams. That's available to you. You can set up different tournaments. That's also available to you. You can choose a country, and depending which country you choose, you can also pick a tournament in that country. There's quite a few in terms of when it comes to selection. So that's quite a lot of stuff to do here also. Right? You can play the 2018 World Cup. That's available as well. So you can either play the actual World Cup as it happened, or you can just set up a custom one yourself. And you can also use your fantasy team in the World Cup, and we'll talk a bit about the fantasy team here. So there's the fantasy team section to this game. Now, I have a big problem with this kind of thing, is because, well, the fantasy team works in a certain way. here we are. It actually has its own tutorial section for people so that you're not lost in terms of what happens here. See, I did not go and watch the tutorial here. I quickly just looked over what it is and pretty much heard already enough about it. And when I looked over it, I'm like, yep, I confirmed that what I saw is exactly what I heard about. And the idea is this: yeah, you're building your team of different stars, so you can try to get the best stars on your team and then go to play it on, well, you can play it on single player if you want to, or you can go online. Here's the problem overall with this. While it's possible to earn this team members, well, you earn special currency to buy this packs, and hopefully you're gonna get somebody good in those packs. But you also have ability to use real world money to buy FIFA points and then spend them on the packs here, so you can get better players. So in the end, it comes down to what? Well, you're spending money to buy power in multiplayer section of the game. That's not really good. And to top it off, you also have a loot box mechanic, because you don't know who you're gonna get here, right? So not exactly the greatest way to have something in the game that's going to be multiplayer, especially people playing in the multiplayer. So it's like, okay, well, I have a bigger wallet, so I can make myself better, not through skill but through money, right? So not exactly great, and this is one of the reasons I think this game is seriously uncool. I generally don't see the sports games to be cool. We're gonna exit this mode right now, because I don't see the sports game as cool, because I never see this, playing with a controller and learning how to press different buttons, the right trigger with an X, and spinning the right pump stick, right? It's gonna really be any useful overall. Well, not even useful, but anyway, how's this better than actually going out there and playing the sport yourself physically? I think that would be way better in learning, how to do all these different moves that you see in the game that you can perform with the controller, actually to do it yourself. I think that would be way better physically. And so for that reason, sports games are generally uncool. But if you add this loot box mechanic with money for power in multiplayer, well, that's seriously uncool. But overall, I think this is a very good game, just given the depth of the stuff you can do here. And, a lot of stuff you have here, plus the depth of the team management section. I really like that. So that's pretty much my opinion on it. A very good game, but seriously uncool. If you like this video, please like it. If you didn't like it, don't like it, and please follow and subscribe. Also, thank you for listening and for watching.